So I went backpacking 2 nights this week. I didn't have any connection and I didn't turn off my eBay store. Did it impact my sales? Did I get everything shipped out on time? Let's find out. Hello and welcome to eBay with Chris. I am on a journey to build an eBay business from $0 to $3,000 monthly profit in just 12 months. In today's video, we're going to talk about the week of May 29th through June 4th. And like I said in the intro, I did go backpacking 2 nights this week. So I was basically without connection for almost 3 whole days. And I didn't turn off my store. And I was worried about getting a bunch of sales and not getting them shipped out on time. But let's find out what happened. So I will share pictures of my backpacking trip. We went to the Washington coast, my adult son and I. And we had a great time, beautiful weather. If you want to see those pictures and maybe some video, I'll share those at the end. We're going to look at my eBay reports. We're going to talk about my metrics, the metrics that I look at when I'm evaluating my business and my progress towards $3,000 monthly profit. And we're also going to look at 7 of the items that I sold this week that were only in my store for less than 2 weeks. We're going to go ahead and look at their sell-through rate and figure out, okay, was that just luck? Or do those items have a high sell-through rate and it just makes sense that they sold so fast? So let's go ahead and get started with the eBay reports. Here we go. Okay, so here's the report for the week of May 29th through June 4th. As you can see, my total items sold was just 17 items sold this week. That's actually down 32% from the prior week, which was actually a record week for me. Total sales for the week, $559.15. My selling cost for the week, $245.85. And you can see that is 44% of my sales, which is actually pretty high. I'm typically around 37-38%. So we're going to look at the selling costs here soon and look at the details to figure out what happened there. But my selling cost, that includes eBay's final value fees, ad fees, shipping fees, like what it costs me to buy a shipping label to ship an item to a customer. So it includes all of that. So we'll go ahead and dive into that. So that means my net sales for the week, or what eBay paid me, was $282.95. And then my average sales price for the week was actually up. It was up about 15%, as you can see, to $32.89. So that's a nice improvement for the week. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at the chart for my sales for the week. Now, I went backpacking Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we left Wednesday afternoon, and we actually returned Friday at 4 p.m. So I was able to get back and ship out any sales that I had over those couple days and get them into the post office right before they closed on Friday afternoon. So as you can see, I had about $50 sales on Sunday, about $100. Oh, I'm sorry, $50 sales on Monday, because this chart starts on Monday, $100 on Tuesday, 0 on Wednesday, 0 on Thursday. So while I'm backpacking Wednesday and Thursday, I had 0 sales. Whew, actually, it's kind of a relief. And then Friday, I had, it looks like about $120 in sales. And so I was able to get back just in time to get those items into the post office before they closed Friday afternoon. And then Saturday I had, about $30 in sales. And I wrapped up the week on Sunday with a nice day of $250 in sales. So Sunday saves my week for sure. And then over on the left, you can see my total sales, $559.15, and then the item sales are what the customers or the buyers paid for the items themselves. They paid $372.15. They also paid shipping and handling of $156.65 and taxes of $30.35. Okay, so now we're looking at the selling cost table. Let's go ahead and break this out. So my total selling costs were $245.85. And as you can see, my eBay fees were $112.90, and that was broken down further. I had $81.92 of final value fees, which is actually 15%. That's a little bit higher than normal. Normally I'm around 13%. But I did sell one item for $95, some vintage luggage set that I got from a friend. And so maybe that category has a little bit higher final value fees. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look into that. But that was kind of the one anomaly. So maybe that contributed to the final value fees being higher than normal. I also had ad fees of just $3, and that's less than 1%. My shipping labels, oh wait, let's go down here further. To my account level fee. So I did have my monthly account fees go out of $27.95, and that is actually 5% of my selling costs. So that's where the increase from a typical week of 38%, that's how it increased up to what, 44%? That's part of it. Okay, so the biggest part of my selling fees is my shipping labels. So this is what it costs me to buy a shipping label in order to ship the item out to the customer, because I buy all of my shipping labels through eBay. So my shipping label costs were $132.95, which is 24% of my total sales. And that's up a couple percentage points, but usually I'm somewhere around 22 to 24%. So it's not too far out of range. Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk about my metrics. Okay, in building my business from $0 to $3,000 monthly profit, I'm focusing on 3 primary metrics in order to achieve that goal. And so I started with the goal in mind, $3,000. And what I did is I just tried to figure out what it would take in order to achieve that. And so my metrics focus on store growth, because I need 2,000 items in my store. And the other metric is my sell-through rate, and I'm looking for or targeting 0.5% sell-through rate. So if I have 2,000 items in my store and I'm selling 0.5% of my items every single day, that would mean I'm selling 10 items per day, or about 300 items per month. And then my final metric, my third metric, is my profit per item, and I'm targeting at least a $10 profit per item. So if I'm selling 300 items per month times $10 profit, I'm going to have 3,000 profit for the month. So that's where my metrics come from. So let's start out with the first one, which is store growth. I'm trying to grow my store up to 2,000 items. So to do that, I need to add 50 items to my store every single week. So I started the week out with 760 items in my store, and I ended the week with 755 items in my store. I went backwards for the first time. That's what happens when I go out and have some fun backpacking. Yeah, so I basically threw me off for the entire week. I listed a total of 12 items. You know, I sold 17 items, so that's how my store went down by 5 items. So yikes. I need to improve that. I have not been doing good in my listing habit, so I really need to buckle down and get it done no matter what. But it's hard. It's exhausting. As many of you guys know, listing every single day and creating that habit, it can be really tiring, especially when you have other things going on in life. And yeah, it just gets interrupted. But those are just excuses, and my excuse stinks. So I need to just do it. All right, so the other metric is my sell-through rate. So how you calculate sell-through rate is you take the number of items sold, divide it by the number of days in the time period you're looking at, and then divide it by the number of items in your store. So in my case, I sold 17 items over 7 days, and I started the week with 760 items in my store. So 17 divided by 7 divided by 760 is 0.32%. And now if you remember, my target is 0.5%, so I missed that as well. For the whole month of May, my sell-through rate has been in the 0.3 to 0.4% range. I did have 1 week last week where I had 25 sales and I hit 0.5% exactly. So I'm not sure if I just was incorrect in my target for my sell-through rate, or I am focused a lot more on finding items that have higher sell-through rates to improve that. So I'm really focused on that, but I'm not seeing the results yet. But I'm still going to focus in that area to try and get the sell-through rate to improve. Otherwise, I'm going to need to have more items in my store in order to sell 10 items per day in order to hit my goal. So that means more listing. Catch 22 right there. Okay, and the final metric is $10 profit per item. So what I do is I look at my cost of goods. So my average cost of goods sold is $3. My average buy cost per item is less than $1. It's like $1.86 year to date. And I also have additional costs roughly of $1 for laundry, for storage boxes, plastic bags, shipping labels, all those small expenses that go along with operating an eBay business like this. And it's typically about $1 per item. So I just assume my cost of goods is $3 per item. So if I sold 17 items, that means my cost of goods sold was $51 for the week. And if you subtract that from my net sales, or what eBay paid me, of $282.95, that means my profit was $231.95. Now that's my taxable profit, right? $231.95. Then I divide that by the 17 items sold to get a per item profit, and it is $13.64 per item. Woo! So I did achieve that goal of more than $10 profit per item. So that's exciting. I'll take it. Okay, so next we're going to look at cash flow and my hourly pay rate for the week. Let's find out what happened there. But also remember, after this, we're going to look at the 7 items that I sold this week that were in my store for less than 2 weeks. So super fast selling items. Let's check them out as soon as we're done with this section here. So for my cash flow, I just look at my inventory purchases and I subtract that from my eBay payout. So this week I spent $149.00 on 85 items. And that's an average buy cost of only $1.75. So super cheap. I'm excited. And that was actually just at a garage sale. So when we came back from the backpacking trip, I went to a huge garage sale in my area, spent all Saturday out in the sun. And in fact, there's a video. If you want to see that video of the huge garage sale haul, I'll go ahead and post that link up here so that you can check that out. But that was a really good day. $149, 85 items, average buy cost of $1.75. So if you subtract the $149 from my eBay payout of $282.95, I'm still cash flow positive $133.95. Woo! Money in the bank. All right, now let's look at hours worked for the week. So I kept track of how many hours I worked when it comes to sourcing, shipping, listing, and taking pictures. Now sourcing was most of the time, 7.5 hours. Shipping just an hour and a half. Listing 1.75 hours, and taking pictures just half an hour because I didn't list very many items. So my total hours worked for the week was 11 hours and 25 cents. 11 hours and 15 minutes. Oh my goodness. And it's funny, if I didn't source that week, I would have worked less than 4 hours for the week. So it's really interesting. So I worked 11 hours and 15 minutes. If you divide my profit for the week of $231.95 by my hours worked, 11.25 hours, I get an hourly rate of $20.62. Boom. That's what happens when you don't spend a lot of time trying to grow your store. You actually make more money per hour. But in my case, I'm trying to grow my store. So yeah, I also try to look at what is my hourly rate per item sold. Okay. So typically I average about 24 minutes per item. That includes how long it takes me to source an item, to take pictures of it, to list it, and to ship it out when it sells. So 24 minutes per item. So my hourly rate this week for just my sales was $34.11. Okay, let's go ahead and look at those 7 items. Here we go. Okay, so this first item is a Patagonia jacket. It's a girl's extra large puffer. It's goose down, really nice jacket. But one thing that was interesting about this item is that some of the puffer areas were not filled, like some of the goose down had escaped or maybe was clumping a little bit. So there were some thin spots, and I did point that out in the pictures. And if you look really closely at this picture here, you can actually see on the kind of the right side, the right chest area there, you can see some thinner spots there. But still, that's why I priced this jacket a lot lower. This buyer is all in for $32.24, and eBay paid me $20.71 for a profit of $17. Now, when I wanted to determine the sell-through rate of this item, I went ahead and used the search term Patagonia jacket, girls extra large black puffer. So I did those keywords, and the results were 7 items that were currently listed. And then let's switch over to the next slide here, which shows the number of items that were sold using the same keywords. You can see right here 6 sold. And in fact, there's my jacket right there that I sold. So 6 items sold in the last 90 days. There's 7 currently listed. So in order to determine the sell-through rate, you take the number of items sold and divide it by the number of items currently listed. In this example, 6 divided by 7 is 85% sell-through rate, which is pretty good. I actually shoot for anything that's over 50% sell-through rate. That's kind of what I'm looking for, unless the price is really good and I'm willing to wait a longer period of time for that item to sell. Okay, so this next item is a pair of Miss Me signature skinny jeans, size 31, mid-rise, and you can see I featured in this listing the pockets, because the pockets are really cool. It looks like some kind of a wing type of design there, and so that was the main feature that I wanted to focus on for this listing. You can see this buyer is all in for $43.99. eBay paid me $28.27 for a profit of $25. Really nice pickup here. And let's go ahead and switch over to see how many items are currently listed. So I used the search term Miss Me signature skinny jeans, size 31. Pretty specific, actually. So I have the size in there, and I also have kind of the style. And you can see there's 240 currently listed, and some of the prices down there, anywhere from 33, 35, 33, 23. And then let's go ahead and see how many sold using the same search terms. Only 54, so quite a bit. And in this example here, you can see the prices are actually kind of lower on what actually sold. But so to determine sell-through rate, you take the 54 sold divided by the 240 that are currently listed for a 22% sell-through rate. Not very good. It's okay, but at a price point of around $35, I'm okay waiting. So in my book, Miss Me jeans are almost always a pickup. Okay, so here we have a vintage Seattle Seahawks sweater. It actually has an embroidery from the 1999 AFC West Championship. In fact, I think the Seahawks now, they're in the NFC West, if I remember right. So this item, the buyer is all in for $35.22. And eBay paid me $21.64 for a profit of $18. Let's go ahead and check out the sell-through rate of vintage Seahawks sweaters. So here we have, and the search term I use is vintage Seattle Seahawks sweater. And there are currently 49 listings. And then let's see how many sold. There are 9 sold. So that's not a very good sell-through rate. You take the 9 divided by the 49 and you get an 18% sell-through rate. Not very good. So I was pretty fortunate that someone wanted this specific sweater that I had. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, here we have a pair of Switch Remarkable pants. They actually are elastic waist with a drawstring, black denim. And this buyer is all in for $27.92. eBay paid me $14.76 for a profit of $12. Now let's look at the sell-through rate of these type of pants here. Currently listed, there are 49 currently listed, and you can see I use the search term Switch Remarkable Pants Men's. So I kind of broadened the search a little bit. I took out the size, the color, and just kept it to the brand and the style Remarkable. And let's look at how many sold. Using the same search term, only 14 sold. So the sell-through rate is 14 sold divided by 49 listed. That is 29%. Not very good. So I was pretty lucky these sold. All right, here we have a pair of Democracy jeans. The style is ankle skimmer women's. They're size 14 and obviously distressed. Democracy jeans have been good sellers for me. So whenever I see them, I actually pick them up. So I have good luck with them. Let's go ahead and see. This buyer was all in for $28.46. eBay paid me $16.20 for a profit of $13. Let's look and see how many items are currently for sale. So I used the search term Democracy jeans, women's 14, ankle skimmer. So pretty specific on this one. I got the size in there, the style, and of course the brand. You can see there's 10 results, so there's currently 10 listed. And then when I look to see how many sold using the same search terms, I got 7 results. So 7 sold, 10 listed. That is a sell-through rate of 70%. Pretty good. Now remember, all of these items were in my inventory. They sold this week, but they were only in my inventory for less than 2 weeks. So they sold pretty quickly. Here we have a Columbia. It's a flex fit fitted hat. It's got the stars and the trees as the American flag. And this buyer was all in for $19.03. eBay paid me $11 for a profit of $8. Let's go ahead and look at the let's go ahead and look and see how many are currently listed. Now, to do the research, I use the term Columbia Flex Fit American Flag Hat. And you can see there are 44 currently listed. And there's a couple examples here. Here's one with a fish. There's another one that has the trees, and another one that has the fish. So there's a couple different styles. If I wanted to be more specific, I could have maybe searched more for the tree version to see if that's more or less popular than the fish version. But in any case, let's go ahead and see how many sold here. Okay, so it looks like 21 sold using the same search term. So the sell-through rate for this item is 21 divided by 44, which is a 47% sell-through rate, which is pretty good. I'll take it. Okay, so here we have a denim skirt by the brand Venezia. It's actually size 16W. It has actually a big stain. I don't know if you can see it in the picture, but there's kind of a red ink stain on the in the picture on the right side there, about halfway down. So I did, of course, share that, but that's why the price is lower. It should actually be worth a little bit more than this. But the buyer's all in for $24.04. eBay paid me $11, and I got a profit of just $8. Not bad for a skirt with a big red stain on it. Let's go ahead and see how many of these types of skirts are listed. So I use the search term Venezia denim skirt. I kept it pretty simple, took the size out of it and the style, and I have 197 results. Let's see how many have sold using the same search terms. 96 have sold, so that's pretty good. So this brand and this denim skirt is actually probably a pretty good pickup. 96 sold divided by 197 listed. That's a sell-through rate of 48%. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share some pictures and video of my backpacking trip to the Washington State coast. It's a fairly remote area, beautiful, rugged, and just an amazing experience. So anyways, if you want to hang out and check out some of those images, feel free to hang out. I just want to remind you, if you like this content, if you found value in it, please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it, and share it with other people. Also, if you have any comments or questions, I would love to hear from you. I know a lot of you do comment on most of my videos, so I really appreciate that. It's always nice to hear from you guys, and I just want to encourage you to continue to push forward in building your eBay business. Let's build this together. We can all make more money with this business and on this platform. So let's do this. If you do want to follow me on my journey to $3,000 profit, go ahead and click subscribe. And if you want to binge watch my video, I'll go ahead and leave a link at the end after some of these images. Here we go. Enjoy.
Recording?
Yes.
How dare you?
I might stumble down the stairs.
That'd be funny.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching the backpacking trip images. I hope you liked them. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and click this button right here. And if you want to just binge watch eBay with Chris because you think it's amazing, which I do, go ahead and check out this video right here. It's a great place to start. Take care.